Hello, and welcome to Spooky Yesterday You Asked Me, with my special guest, Rowan. Say hi, Rowan.
Hello.
Hello. This is me, your spooky boy, and today we're going to talk about the spookiest film known to man, Jack and Jill, by Andy Samberg. Adam Sandler.
Okay, so you want me to, if I understand correctly, you want me to explain the plot to you, or are you going to guess the plot?
I'm going to ask you some questions, and then from there you can explain the plot once I've figured out a basic understanding.
Okay.
Okay, so first I want you to do a thing where you're going to present, it's 2 lies and a truth.
Okay.
Present to me 2 lies about Jack and Jill and 1 truth.
Wait, so in the film Jack and Jill, there is a scene where Francis Ford Coppola rides a bull who is at the same time defecating. That's one
That
fact.
sounds legit.
Second is that there is one scene where Rob Schneider gets stuck in a garbage can that then gets lifted into a garbage truck and then he goes to the dump. And the third scene is that Al Pacino at one point stars in a fake Dunkin' Donuts commercial.
Yeah, I know the
called
Al
Dunkin'.
Pacino
Okay, you
one.
ruined it. You ruined it. Okay.
Sorry.
So we should restart then.
No, it's
just
fine.
that. Okay. So
No,
should I
fine.
do two more lies to truth?
No, it's fine.
Alright.
So from there, I'll ask you one question.
Alright.
So I know that Adam Sandler and himself play twins, but what's like the plot of the film?
The plot of the film is that Adam Sandler is a ad executive, and he's on rough times, and his twin sister's coming home for Thanksgiving, and he's married to Katie Holmes, and they have a bunch of adopted children, and that's the main catalyst of the film, and he wants to get Al Pacino in his new Dunkin' Donuts advertisement. So then, the sister comes. How much should I go? How far should I go in the plot?
Sister comes, and that's about as much as I need to know.
Okay.
Okay, so, here's what I'm gonna theorize, and you can, spitball with my theorization. So I'm thinking, what happens is that his twin sister, I assume this is gonna be a raunchy, dumb, racist, just stupid affair.
Definitely.
Because this was, the end of Adam Sandler's career. I keep on trying to think of Andy Samberg. But, so I'm thinking, basically I'm thinking, it's gonna be raunchy, it's gonna be dumb, so I'm thinking, his twin sister is like a fat, goofy idiot, and she ruins the whole thing for him, but in the end, everything ends up going okay. Or it could be like the ending of Click, where he just wakes up in a Bed Bath & Beyond, and then he wakes up the next day, and he opens a Christmas box, and inside is his twin sister.
Okay, so part of that is true, and the part of that
Christmas part?
No, she is incredibly obnoxious, and then he gets to love her over the period of time. So she comes for Thanksgiving, but then she stays through Christmas. And
I'm just gonna assume it is a raunchy, racist affair, right?
Definitely. At one point, what is it? David Spade plays a drag queen, and that's done very offensively. And I think there's like a joke about the Mexican grandmother at that point. At one point, where she they try to revive her. They try to revive her by feeding her Mexican chilies. So it definitely is all of those things.
Fun. Okay, so let's see. He doesn't fall in love. I hope this doesn't turn into an Alabama style affair. But let's see. I'm thinking, he learns to love her, and she actually gets Al Pacino, because turns out she's BFFs with him, and or lovers, and Or it could be a BFFs to lovers thing. I don't know. And then, they save the day. Al Pacino's in the ad, and that's it. And I know it's a Christmas movie, right?
Yeah, it's a Thanksgiving Christmas. I don't know. So.
But is it like Christmas the same way Die Hard's a Christmas movie?
Kind of. Okay, so here's what happens. So she comes in and they go to a like I think it's like a sports game, like a American football game, and then they go there and it's like a really cheap set, and Johnny Depp is in the audience with Al Pacino, and Al Pacino doesn't want to be noticed, and then he sees Jill from like across the aisle and he falls in love with her, and then the film is him trying to court Jill to date, and eventually eventually they go back to his house, and then she breaks his only Oscar, and that's like a joke. So and then in the very end of the film, he agrees to do the Dunkin' Donuts ad, and that is the only memorable scene in the film. It's not even a good joke.
Yeah, I do just want to clarify that when I laughed, I was not laughing with it. I was laughing at it. Because
yes, that's definitely what happens, especially at the end during the Al Pacino ad. It's not funny, it's depressing, and that's why we laugh.
So in other words, it's a end of the run Adam Sandler film.
Well, after this, he made The Cobbler, he made The Ridiculous Six, he made.
It's not like he, failed. It's just no, all of his movies are great. He's slowly
he made
entered
Uncut
that phase.
Gems.
He slowly entered that phase where half of his movies were mostly just him going on a vacation and bringing his friends and a camera.
Okay, so continue.
So, I think this movie is like the opposite of a must-watch, like must bury in the back of your backyard, and just like never speak of it. Like, I feel like
that's a good.
Yeah.
Well, I'll say this. I remember a couple years ago, I got a new high school counselor, and last year, and I emailed her. You like rom-com? She in some email she gave out she liked rom-coms. I emailed her. You like rom-coms? You can look at Jack and Jill. And I kept emailing her throughout the year saying, have you watched it yet? And then she left. No correlation.
Sure. Absolutely. Anyway, so, Rowan, I've watched, the Fred movie. Have you watched the Fred movie?
I have watched the Fred movies, the Fred trilogy. Fred.
I only watched 1 and 2.
Night of the Living Fred and Fred. What's it called? What's the third one? Camp Fred. And they're so I would consider those to be some of the worst films ever made. Is Jack and Jill worse or better? Jack and Jill is a less passionate film. Fred's based off of a character. Jack and Jill is like Adam Sandler. Pepto-Bismol said, we'll give you some money if you put our product in the film. And then there's a card of Pepto-Bismol, At one point, they're on the... At one point, they're like in a stadium. It's a cheap set. And, Adam Sandler's infamous for, going on vacations and filming his films,
Yeah, you cut out for a second there, but I kind of got the gist of what you're saying.
Yeah, he's infamous for just making a film just to make a small profit and just going on a vacation.
Okay, so is this one of the worst films ever made, or like the worst film ever made?
This is not even in the bottom 100. No. The worst films ever made. We're talking like
Emoji Movie,
Laser Blast. Well, like Emoji Movie. This film doesn't even try. For a film to be one of the worst films ever made, it has to either be so insurmountably bad that you cannot bear to watch it for 2 microseconds, or it has to be so the people just didn't care at all that it turns into this transcendent masterpiece like the Emoji Movie. That film is just like a Wreck-It Ralph skin, and because of how much it doesn't care, that's why it's beautiful. You know, Suicide Squad, Oscar-nominated Suicide Squad, films like that, those are the worst films.
Yeah. It's like, and some people say, oh yeah, well, The Room is the worst film, but it's like, at least The Room's enjoyable.
At least people watch The Room.
Yeah, at least people like The Room.
I completely agree. This film, it will go down as... It won't go down in history. That's the thing. People have already forgotten about it. 9 years? 9 years ago? How old were you 9 years ago? No one remembers this film. And
I was less than 9 years old 9 years ago.
And that's how they get you. That's how Adam Sandler gets you. He hooks you in.
Mm-hmm.
He hooks you in, and then you just forget about it the next day. Because Adam Sandler is like the prudent businessman filmmaker. The films have nothing in them, and then every once in a while, he's in a great film like Uncut Gems. For he's in that film to get notoriety and a possible Oscar nomination, and then he just keeps making complete and utter, feces. Like, yeah, he was in Uncut Gems, but then he also produced The Wrong Missy the same year. So, yeah, it's not a good... No.